needs to do. I mean, they're trying to kind of slay the giant a little bit here in Heritage. Again, they're the team that is very accustomed to being at this stage, but Weatherford, for their sake, was here last year, so it's not like this is foreign to them. What do you think the Lions need to do in the early goings of this football game to kind of set the tone?
I think for the Lions, they're going to have to obviously really capitalize when Fredericksburg doesn't hand the ball off to 28. Now, when Fritch has the ball, they're going to have to bring him down and bring him down quickly.
Speaking of Fritch, here he goes across midfield, inside the 30, breaking tackles inside the 20. Finally dragged down from behind by Jackson Foley. And that'll be a fresh set of downs for the Eagles.
Tried an arm tackle up around the 30-yard line, and it's just going to take more than that to bring down that giant load.
Yeah, as I said before, they're going to have to limit Fritch's ability to break tackles, and they're going to have to tackle him as a group. If they allow him to continue to just break those arm tackles, he's going to have a big day here. Weatherford's going to have to really limit him and really make Freddie pay when they don't use him.
So it'll be 1st and 15 from the 16-yard line, so they can gain another first down without scoring a touchdown. If you're not accustomed to six-man football, it is 1st and 15 for every set of downs. This time they do give it to Fritch, but he's taken down in the backfield. I don't imagine we're going to say that many times today, but a nice job by the Weatherford defense to bottle him up, and maybe they'll call it a gain of 0 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down and 15.
Nice gang tackle there for Weatherford Lions all over that one, and they converged quickly, and that's what it'll take to help control this offense of Heritage.
2nd and 15 now. Fritch gets the pitch. He's got open field, across the 5, into the end zone, touchdown, John Fritch. Just 3 minutes and 7 seconds into the football game, and already the big 6'3", 220-pound sophomore has found pay dirt.
Yeah, Fritch he's a guy, big old boy, and he loves to carry the rock. He did a great job there, and once he gets that head of steam going, it's hard to take him down.
There's a defender who got in the backfield early, but I believe it was number 11, Sam Richburg, who laid a nice block, and that really opened the door for Fritch to do the rest.
So it's Sam Richburg, the quarterback, who's also their kicker on PATs, and he puts it up and through, and it's an early 8-0 start for Heritage here in the TAP 6-man Division III state championship game.
Heritage.
I was going to say, no big surprise. An awful lot of John Fritch on that opening drive there for Heritage.
Yeah, that's no surprise at all. Talking to Coach Shipman, as we said, he's probably one of the best to come through Heritage. Fritch is, and being only a sophomore, obviously it's going to be, good for a couple years. But to see them not only just depend on Fritch, but see the rest of the team really click and really getting it done on offense, that was good for Freddie to come out and really get a good start to this game.
So now on the flip side, guys, obviously Weatherford does it a little bit differently than Heritage does. A lot of action through the air. Jackson Floyd, their quarterback, really more their spread back more than because they'll try and give him the run-pass option as often as they can. Nearly 2,200 passing yards on the year, 29 touchdowns, over 700 rushing yards as well, and another 10 touchdowns. So he is in a lot of ways number 2 in white is the offense for the Lions. So we'll see him here in just a moment as they do kick it down the left sideline, and it will roll just barely out of bounds. Floyd, in addition to being their spread back, also, as you saw, was back to return the kickoffs. He does an awful lot for this Weatherford Christian team.
Yeah, a lot of time in the 6-man game, you're always going to put your athletes and your better players in positions where they can succeed. So I expect to see Floyd out there a lot. I expect to see Fritch out there a lot for Fredericksburg. You're not going to see a whole lot of, like you tend to see in 11-man, a lot of second-teamers come in to do the extra points, to do the onsides, to do the kickoff returns. You're going to see a lot of the same guys out there.
As one of the 6-man coaches of these 6 state title worthy teams said to me earlier this week, hey, if Nick Saban plays all his starters on special teams, that's good enough for me. I'm going to do the same thing. So they do pitch it back here to Floyd, the spread back. He's going to throw it to Wyatt Berry, who's got a pickup of about 6 on first down and 15. Maybe give him 7 out to the 47-yard line.
Sam Richburg with the tackle for the Eagles.
Richburg, the quarterback, also one of the linebackers for this Heritage School team. Try and give you the starters here for Weatherford's offense. Chandler Stultz, the center. Floyd, the spread back. Wyatt Berry, their running back. Jarrett Foland and Jackson Foland, 2 of the wide receivers, as well as Bryson Smith, number 26. Pitch it back to Jackson Floyd on 2nd down and 8. Throws it deep downfield, wide open, complete across the 25, inside the 10-yard line. Jackson Foland hauling it in, and they'll have 1st and goal.
Looks to be about a gain of 40 right there. They went from one side of the middle of the field to the other on a great pass. They're trying to get Floyd out there so he can make those passes, trying to play one-on-one and make Fredericksburg guard that open space.
Only 53 seconds into this possession for Weatherford Christian, and they're already looking at 1st and goal from the 10. Floyd looking deep on the far side of the field, just a little too far for Wyatt Berry and out of bounds, and he goes tumbling over the stanchion. Again, if you're not accustomed to 6-man football, it is a 80 by 40-yard field, hence the special markings that you're noticing. A narrower field and a shorter field. Of course, only 6 players on each side, so it would be tough to cover a 53-yard wide, 53 and a third yard wide field as it would be in 11-man football with only 6 guys. Here comes Floyd on 2nd down and goal. Gets a nice block from Berry. Gets to the corner, and he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Weatherford Christian.
That's a 10-yard scamper there for Floyd. Definitely show he can throw it, but he got the wheels too. So it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Shipman attacks this Weatherford offense, because they scored in, I think, 5 plays at the most. So it's going to be interesting to see whose defense is going to show up today to slow each other down.
Only a minute and 15 seconds after John Fritsch scored on a 16-yard touchdown run to make it 8-0. Back comes Jackson Floyd. The extra point blocked, though, so it'll stay 8-6. As Weatherford Christian finds the answer but can't quite knot it up. And Heritage will maintain the lead.
And the one thing you're going to need to watch today as well is who makes these extra points, because in 6-man, unlike 11-man, the extra points were 2, and the 2-point conversion, as you'd see in 11-man, is only worth 1, because obviously less people, you got a harder time blocking. So, it's going to be huge, because I've seen several games over the years where one team could score more touchdowns, but the other team makes all their extra points and can come out on top.
Mm-hmm. Field goals worth 4 points, by the way, in 6-man football. Just another slight tweak in the scoring system. And it's really not remotely uncommon that there was only a minute and 15 seconds between scores. It's not. It won't be a surprise if either of these teams get to 60, 70, 80 points today. There will be some offense this morning.
Well, early in this game, living up to all the hype of a state championship, punch, counter punch, it looks like we're in for a great one.
Our 2 players to watch today, John Fritsch for Heritage and Jackson Floyd for Weatherford Christian, are the 2 men who have scored so far today. Can't imagine that's the only time we're going to say that this evening, this afternoon, this morning, whatever time of day it is. 4:22 into the 10-minute quarters in 6-man football. Again, just a slight tweak from the 11-man game. Kickoff through the back of the end zone, and it will be 1st and 15 from the 20 as back comes the Heritage offense and John Fritsch.
I'll be interested to see what Coach Shipman does here, if he's going to go tight, if he's going to go spread. I think he's probably going to stay with what works. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it is the old saying they always use.
John Fritsch, of course, their main gun in the offense, but Josh Herman also very talented back as well. 4 touchdowns on the year, over 300 rushing yards. 646 rushing yards, has also thrown for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns, 21 rushing touchdowns. So he and Fritsch are definitely the 2 biggest elements of the offense for Heritage. This time they're going to pitch it back to Herman, and Herman's around the corner and up the sideline, knocked out of bounds, but he does have just enough for a 1st down right at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, Josh Herman, one of the several Herman brothers that have come through the Heritage program. Had a great run there. It's kind of, I don't know if it's really the thunder and lightning approach, but he's definitely got some speed there on the edge.
Herman, a junior, one of the captains on this football team, along with Sam Richburg, Noah Given, and Eli Christensen.
John Fritz stepped off for this play, and in his place, number 30, Jack Henderson.
And it'll be Henderson that gets the pitch here on the left-hand side, across midfield, and down to the 35, a pickup of 10 on first down. It'll set up 2nd and 5.
Yeah, you're going to see several different people carry the ball. Obviously, Fritz is probably going to get most of the workload, obviously, with the size and speed that he has. But it's going to be something that, they're going to use several people to kind of share the workload.
Heritage on the year, scoring in excess of 59 points per game, giving up just 8.3 per game this season. Only gave up 100 points all year long, but 40 of them came last week against Summit Christian, and certainly a tough offense to face here today. A little bit of a broken play, but they do get it back to John Fritz. He's got nowhere to go at the moment, trying to break tackles in the backfield, but they're going to take him down for a loss of 4 on the play, back close to midfield. Big defensive play there by Weatherford.
Excellent pursuit by number 11, Devin Hardage. He was not about to let Fritz escape.
Hardage, a 6'1", 200-pound senior. One of the few players on the field that can even come close to matching up size-wise with John Fritz. And able to drag him down there for a 4-yard loss and set up 3rd down and 9 midway through quarter number 1.
Yeah, Weatherford did a great job there of keeping everything in front of them. Some defenses are kind of that bend but don't break, or some are, willing to blitz everything, but Weatherford's being smart. They're making sure that they keep everything in front of them, making sure that they are able to play with them, because, with Fredericksburg and how well they do in football and how well they do in track, I wouldn't want to get into a track meet with them if I had to.
Tim Shipman from Heritage said earlier this week to me that this is the matchup to watch. When Heritage is on offense, Weatherford Christian is on defense. If Weatherford can slow them down, he feels like this is going to be a heck of a football game throughout the entirety of this late morning, early afternoon. Whether or not Weatherford can accomplish that is certainly left to be seen, but a nice play there on 2nd down to set up 3rd and 9 and at least force them to think about it a little bit here before a big play.
Absolutely. I think the thing with Fredericksburg that you're going to watch is they're going to come out in several different formations, but they're not going to do a whole lot of different plays. It's just kind of like some of the offenses you'll see in 11-man, especially in college game today, where only 1 or 2 things might change about the formation, but that's going to still run the same plays out of them. So we're going to see if Coach is going to continue to try to spread the field, or if he's going to, just line up in the tight formation, that Jaybird formation as they call it, to allow, his big running back, number 28, to just kind of play bruiser and go get it.
So 3rd down and 9 here for Heritage. Ball just across midfield, the 39-yard line. 3:47 to play first quarter, and they lead 8-6, and they come out tight and hand the ball off to Herman, bowling his way forward to the 35 and give him maybe the 34 after it's all said and done. It'll set up 4th down, and they're going to mark it right at the 40 at the 35, so it'll be 4th down and 5 here.
I would say if I'm a betting man, I'd say they're probably going to give it to Fritz here on the 4th down, either on a sweep.
Seems like a good bet.
Yeah, I think with just his size, allow him to get to the outside, I would say probably a sweep or something to the left to allow him to just kind of get open and go.
It is not common to see teams punt in 6-man football, and Heritage has no intention to here on the other side of the field. They do send it out to Fritz. He's got a blocker out in front. It's Richburg. Gets across the 1st down marker and inside the 30-yard line, and they move the sticks.
Nine-yard gain there for Fritz. Really, as you can see, he is a load to take down. You're going to have to tackle him with at least 2 or 3 guys, and, that leaves about half of the team to watch the rest of it. So it comes down to a number game sometimes, especially with, some dominant athletes like Mr. Fritz and number 2 for Weatherford as well.
You can see on the replay there were 5 Weatherford defenders by the end of the tackle all over that.
Sets up first down and 15 now from the 26-yard line. Hitting the backfield, but fighting through the tackle is Jack Henderson. He's able to fight his way forward for a pickup of about 3. Under 3 minutes, first quarter here in the 6-man Division III state championship game. The first of 7 games this weekend here from Midway's Panther Stadium. The Division II 6-man state championship game this afternoon at 3 o'clock, Harvest Christian and New Braunfels Christian. And then at 7 o'clock, the Division I 6-man state title game, Lake Hill Prep and Emory Wiener. Second down and 12 now. Kind of a hybrid formation here, and they've got Herman as the spread back. He'll get the pitch. Looking downfield for Henderson. Now comes back on the near side, tried to find Aiden Hickey, and he dropped it. Ball was a little bit wide, would have been a tough catch, but couldn't haul it in.
That will bring up third down and 12 for the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm going to have to tell Coach Shipman at halftime that maybe I would try to run the ball. He's 0 for 3 on passing so far, and running the ball, he's had 1 negative play. So, I know he's trying to keep him honest for sure. And I think he's doing a good job. It's just I think they, especially coming into the second quarter here in a few minutes, they really need to capitalize on those passing downs.
Third down and 12 here. Inside the 25-yard line. It's Fritch behind Richburg. He gets the pitch straight up the middle, bowls through 1 tackle and drags 2 more inside the 15-yard line. And that'll make fourth down manageable here as his helmet pops off at the end of the play.
Obviously the rule now, I think it's been in the last year or so for sure.
Yeah,
helmet
this
comes
is important here for him to have to come off the field.
Yeah, be interested to see maybe Coach Shipman takes a timeout. Don't know if he will.
Doesn't look like it just yet, which means fourth down and call it about 2.5. They've got to get to the 11-yard line. Well, you can call it a full 3, I think. Fourth down and 3 here for this Heritage offense. And they'll do so without John Fritch on the football field. Herman and Given, certainly 2 of their main options beyond the sophomore stud. Play clock winding down, and now it looks like Tim Shipman will indeed call timeout.
Definitely don't blame Coach Shipman there for running a little bit of time off the clock, obviously with, I wouldn't say ease, but definitely the way Weatherford was able to move the ball down the field. I think he's definitely smart here to use a little clock, wait and obviously get John Fritch back in the game so he can, have his best player out there on, very I wouldn't say super crucial yet, but definitely a very important fourth down play here in the first quarter.
All points matter the same, and whether it's in the first quarter or the fourth quarter, trying to get a touchdown here is certainly an important element of this football game because the expectation anyway is that these 2 teams are going to put up an awful lot of points over the course of today. And if you want to keep pace, a first down here is necessary.
Neither of these teams strangers to scoring. Heritage having put 620 points on the board this season. Weatherford Christian 60-plus points 8 times this season, including all 3 rounds of the playoffs. Guys, are you a little bit surprised that it's 6-8 in the closing moments of the first?
I wouldn't say I'm surprised yet. If we get maybe into the third quarter and it's still kind of a low-scoring game, usually, especially in some of these big games where both teams are, I wouldn't say young, but just, a little bit different than senior-laden teams. And so I think what they're going to do is see second or third quarter, see if somebody can open it up.
So here's 4th and 3. Richburg back to pass. Fires over the middle, incomplete over the head, and incomplete trying to hook up with Josh Herman over the middle. And Weatherford Christian gets the stop defensively inside the 15-yard line.
You can see on the replay, threw it just a little high there. The Weatherford defense was in the area enough to maybe disrupt his perception of what was going on downfield.
Definitely a little windy here at Midway as well. I don't know if that factored into it or not, but definitely probably doesn't help.
So Shipman doesn't give the football to John Fritch on 4th down and 3, and they are not able to convert. Deep ball here, incomplete. Jackson Floyd trying to find a man downfield. It's Wyatt Berry. And it'll be 2nd and 15, but still 8-6, under a minute to play first quarter in the 6-man D3 state title game. Heritage and Weatherford Christian here on TAPS TV. Mike Leslie, Matt Tarbutton, and Gabe Duarte with you for all 3 6-man state title games today. Larry Thexton will join us tomorrow and Saturday for the 11-man state championships. Division I and Division II tomorrow at noon and 7 respectively, and then D3 and D4 on Saturday at noon and 7. Foland gets the pitch. He's going to run for it here on 2nd down and 15. Gets about half of it out to the 24-yard line.
Looks to be about an 8-yard game for number 2. Excellent job by him following his blocks and really getting the yardage he can. A lot of times, especially with players, especially in the 6-man games, a lot of times they don't wait for their blocks to develop, but he did an excellent job there kind of following the caravan as they went.
That patient run sets up 3rd down and 5 from their own 24. Floyd gets the pitch back. In trouble in the backfield, gets the ball off though, finds a man, complete first down. Wyatt Berry driven back after he does pick up the first down. John Fritsch can do more than just carry the football. Lays the wood there, but not before Weatherford picks up the first down on the final play of quarter number 1. 8-6 in favor of Heritage after 1 quarter, but Weatherford with the big stop on that 4th down and with possession back, and they're trying to drive down the field and take the lead back. You're watching TAPS TV in the Division III 6-man state title game. Back at Midway ISD's Panther Stadium, Division III state championship in 6-man football. Weatherford Christian and Heritage School. Heritage with an 8-6 lead after 1 quarter of play. John Fritsch with a 16-yard touchdown run. 3 minutes and 7 seconds into the football game. Minute 15 later, Jackson Floyd ran it in from 10 yards out. The extra point was blocked. And that's how we got to 8-6 over 1 quarter of play. Weatherford with the football now. Creeping up on midfield and a fresh set of downs, gentlemen, on 1st and 15. Pitch comes back to Wyatt Berry, but he's cut down after maybe a gain of 2.
Looks like Weatherford tried to kind of line it up in the tight there and run it a little bit more. I don't know if they're going to try to do more of that. I think obviously with Heritage's size, comparatively, maybe had a tough time running the ball, but it might be something to look for because obviously Floyd in the backfield is a huge cog in their offense. So we'll be interested to see if they continue this or they kind of go back to the spread that they've been doing.
Noah Given and John Fritsch, the 2 starting defensive ends for Heritage, both of them rather large and tough to move around. And sure enough, there's Fritsch swallowing up the ball carrier, Colton Hassenjager, after maybe 3 more, and that'll set up 3rd down and long here. Given and Fritsch, the D lineman, Josh Herman, Sam Richburg, the linebackers for Heritage, and Caden Bray and Jack Henderson, the 2 defensive backs for the Eagles. Stoltz, Floyd, Berry, Foland, Smith, and Jackson Foland, the starters for Weatherford's offense on 3rd down, and we're calling it 10 from just shy of midfield at the 38-yard line. Pitch back to Berry. Blockers on the outside, but not enough. Gets across midfield, but only a couple yards beyond that. And it will be 4th down. Looks like about 5. Have to get to the 32-yard line, just outside the 32-yard line for a 1st down. Again, if you're not accustomed to 6-man football, punting is very rare, and they won't punt it here. Foland beg your pardon, Floyd trying to find somewhere to go with the football, throws it short of the line to gain, but they get the first down. Hassenjaeger breaks a tackle and spun out of bounds at the 26-yard line, but that's enough for a first down, and they pick up the fourth down conversion.
Coach Tarbutton, I've heard you say sometimes the best play in six-man football is the broken play. A little bit of what we saw there.
Absolutely. He was able to, Floyd is able to get it to him, make a couple broken tackles, and obviously with, a lot of field that they have to cover, if you can make one or two men miss, you're very valuable to your offense.
So 1st and 15 now for Weatherford Christian. Trailing by 2 in the state title game. We're going to take the lead for the first time today. Nice block on the left-hand side, looking deep downfield, and incomplete, just short of the intended target, Jarrett Folan. Sliding to the turf at the 3-yard line, and incomplete. Floyd throws a good ball. His head coach calls him the best all-around player on the roster. Great athlete, kid who got hurt last year, but was all district as a sophomore on offense and defense, and here is a senior trying to lead his team to a state championship.
Yeah, the greatest coaches are the ones that are really going to tailor their offense and their defense to what their team does well, and Coach Cox has done that.
That means a whole lot of Jackson Floyd. He's out blocking, though, here for Wyatt Berry. Flag flies at the tail end of the play as they picked up maybe 3 on 2nd down and 15.
My guess would probably be a block in the back or maybe a hold on Weatherford. We'll have to see, though.
Carlton Cole, our crew chief, have we hit afternoon yet? Not yet. 11:25. I've been messing that up all morning. 11:25 in the morning. It is against the defense.
Was it offsides? Or?
Defensive holding, apparently the call. I didn't hear. We were under the impression that Carlton Cole would be wearing a microphone today, but at least he wasn't there. But we did pick it up from the PA, a defensive holding call, and that's going to set up first down and about a yard from the 12-yard line. Boland with Hassenjaeger to his right, Berry to his left.
One thing as a coach you don't want to see. You don't want to see your team, make a mistake after the other team makes a mistake. Make them pay for the yards they just gave you.
Beg your pardon, it's 1st and goal now. Floyd looks on the left-hand side, complete, close to the end zone, knocked out of bounds. Bryson Smith. It'll be 2nd and goal from about the 2.
Number 30, Jack Henderson, able to get him out of bounds for the Eagles, saving a touchdown.
2nd and goal, call it the 3-yard line. Ball sitting kind of right between the 2 and the 3. As Weatherford Christian tries to take the lead for the first time today. Hassenjaeger motions from right to left in a tight formation, now into the backfield. Broken play and nowhere to go for Jackson Floyd. That was some sort of miscommunication, and they lose a yard as a result. It's going to be 3rd and goal from the 4.
Swallowed up immediately by number 33, Noah Given.
Yeah, that looked like trying to do an option play there, but problem was the first option was not available because I don't know if it was the quarterback or the fullback who had the wrong read, but that kind of allowed the defense to key on that quarterback pretty easily.
So 3rd down and goal from the 4 for Weatherford Christian. Just about 3 minutes into quarter number 2 here from Panther Stadium in Waco. Well, flea flicker. Back to Floyd, fires it into the end zone. Did he catch it? Yes, he did. Hang on. Touchdown. Devin Hardage squeezes it, and Weatherford Christian has the lead.
Little flea flicker pass there, little trick play, which I was interested to see when that was going to show up because, with these teams battling back and forth, to get that, extra couple yards or get that touchdown, see when it's going to come out, and Weatherford pulled it out of the bag.
On for the 2-point PAT, and it's blocked. 2nd time today they've had the PAT blocked, and it will be 12-8 after all that. 6:56 to play, 2nd quarter. And Weatherford Christian with their first lead of the football game. Jackson Floyd hitting Devin Hartage on 3rd down and goal from the 4. And the Lions are in front.
So that's 2 touchdowns there by Floyd. 1 throwing, 1 passing. One throwing, 1 running. So they're doing a pretty good job of keeping him balanced here, because a lot of times with some of these pretty athletic kids, people tend to want to run them too much or tend to make them throw too much. They're keeping a good balance, which is going to force Heritage to be able to guard both of them. So, obviously in 6-man football, and as we've seen today, it's a lot of open field tackling. And if you can't do it, it's going to be tough. So be interested to see, any adjustments made, anything is different here, but we'll see if Fredericksburg can answer back here with this next offensive possession.
Just under 7 minutes, second quarter. We've seen Heritage drive the length of the field twice, but the second drive ending on a 4th down stop. They threw the ball, and they weren't able to connect on 4th down and short.
Heritage
Weatherford
only giving up double digits twice this season, so how much does that play into the confidence factor for Weatherford Christian?
I mean, they're used to scoring points. I don't know that scoring 12 necessarily wets their whistle just yet. I mean, they scored 60 in each of their 3 playoff games, but to your point, against Heritage, it's a different animal. Kickoff fielded and brought out across the 20 to the 22-yard line by Caden Bray. And now back comes the Heritage offense. But no, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, Heritage defense, with how good they've been this year, obviously at the state title level, it's going to be more challenging to keep a team off the scoreboard, but Weatherford certainly showing that they're going to be probably the toughest contender that Heritage faces all year, and maybe enough to knock them off here in the state championship game. 1st and 15 now from the 24-yard line for Heritage. Pitch it back to Caden Bray. Bray dancing around, gets to the near side. He's got some open field. He's got a 1st down and then some cross midfield and down to the 36-yard line.
Looks to be about a gain of 19 on that play by Bray.
Bray on the year, over 260 rushing yards, 6 touchdowns, also a factor in the receiving game as well. Timeout called by Weatherford after the big gain on the first play of the drive by Heritage.
I think the one thing we need to watch here, especially going in later to this game, is watch the depth of these two teams. Talking with Coach Shipman, that was, I would say, one of his worries. Obviously, we've seen him play several people on offense. We've had, 4 different people carry the ball and 2 different people throw the ball. But I think with defense, it's a little less depth than what he's had, previously. So, and obviously with Weatherford having, 21 kids, I believe, on their roster, that allows them to be a little bit deeper. So we'll see how much of a factor that plays later on into this game.
Yeah, Weatherford certainly has more bodies and they play more kids than Heritage does. And for a team in Heritage that is used to 45ing their opponents, not necessarily always playing 4-quarter football games, maybe that also factors in Weatherford's favor.
I think it sure does, especially with, I think Heritage has played 2 full games all year, last week being one, and then, one in the first round of the playoffs. So.
First down and 15 for Heritage.
Weatherford's had their fair share of 45s this year as well, but a little bit more experience playing 4-quarter games. Fumbled the snap. Pitched back even further. Herman able to scramble on top of it. He's in trouble in the backfield. Throws it on the near side, incomplete. For that to go down as an incomplete pass, I think is a win for Heritage.
Absolutely. That could have been terrible. I mean, that could have been, 2nd and 40 almost, or 2nd and 35. I mean, that would have been tough. There's not a whole lot of plays in the playbook, I think, for a 2nd and 35. But, for them to be able to pick that up, break the tackle, and at least not get a huge amount of lost yardage, I think that's definitely a plus on that play.
Fairly low scoring through the first quarter and a half here at Panther Stadium. 12-8 in favor of Weatherford Christian, but Heritage trying to find an answer here on 2nd down and 15. High snap. Richburg gives it back to Herman, and Herman in trouble in the backfield and taken down.
Jackson Floyd for the Lions all over Herman, and a huge play for the Weatherford Christian defense.
And it's interesting that they put Jackson Floyd as the rush man. A lot of times you don't see the quarterback rush, but with Floyd being probably the best athlete on Weatherford Christian's roster, it's actually a pretty smart move strategically.
He doesn't play a ton of defense over the length of the season, but Coach Cox said in this game, he said there's no point in holding that back. He's their best player. He's their best athlete. Put him out on the football field as much as they can, and made a big play there to set up 3rd down and 32, and the incomplete pass over the head and incomplete. Trying to find Noah Givens downfield, but they can't connect, and that's going to set up 4th down and 32.
This might be where we see a punt from Heritage. Don't know if they will. Obviously, I'm sure they probably practice it for all of 10 minutes a week. Obviously not a lot of punting going on in 6-man, so I'll be interested to see what Coach Shipman does here, because if you can at least maybe not get a 1st down, but at least get it to the other side of the field, that's still a win, but looks like he's going to punt.
Herman just 2 punts on the year, one of 31 yards, one of 20 yards. And he will indeed punt the football away here on 4th down and 32. Deep down the right sideline, and that's a very good punt inside the 10. And they're going to mark it, it looks like, at the 3-yard line as it popped out of bounds right there. A very nice job by Josh Herman to pin this Weatherford Christian offense deep.
Yeah, that was huge to be able to flip the field on Weatherford Christian. That's definitely what you want for sure, especially after a kind of a sputtering offense there by Fredericksburg on that drive.
If you're going to punt it, that's the way to do it.
Absolutely, because, if you look at it, if he would have punted it into the end zone, which he had obviously enough leg to do so, that would have given it really only about a 25, 30-yard net punt. But, being able to add that extra 15 yards and pin him back deep, that's huge.
So here comes Jackson Floyd and the Weatherford Christian offense from their own 3-yard line in a tight formation. 5:31 to play here, 2nd quarter. Trouble in the backfield, but they're able to get loose. Flag in the backfield. Flag is not sitting in the end zone, but meanwhile coming across midfield and finally knocked out of bounds is Bryson Smith.
I think what they might be looking at is if that second exchange, because obviously, they pitched it to the running back, and then the running back, I believe, threw it back to the quarterback. That might have been an illegal forward pass. I don't know, though, but they definitely called it on them for sure. Huge break for Heritage on that one.
Carlton Cole, our referee today and crew chief. Flag goes against Weatherford Christian. The penalty only ends up being about a yard. Instead of being at the 3, it's about 1.5 yards away from the end zone now. But it does negate a big play by Bryson Smith that would have brought the ball out beyond midfield. So now again a tight formation for Weatherford Christian. Pitch in the backfield for Jackson Floyd. And he's going to be able to earn him a little bit of space here out across the 10 to the 12.
10-yard gain there by Floyd. Excellent job there getting to the open field and being able to kind of gain some of the yards back, because that would have been, 2nd and 15 or 3rd and 15 back against your own end zone. That is a hard place to be at.
Instead, that sets up 2nd down and about 6. Past the midway point now of quarter number 2. 12-8 in favor of Weatherford Christian, and they've got the football back now after forcing the punt by Heritage. Only the 3rd time all season that the Heritage Eagles have punted the football. Tight formation here, and they sling it back, and very quickly in the backfield is the Heritage defense. Nice play by Josh Herman, and knife across and cut him down for a loss.
That was a good play there by the Fredericksburg defense. Really coming in fast on those corners and playing him back in the backfield. That was huge. Really a way to kind of stop the momentum there that Weatherford had.
So now 3rd down and 6. Ball sitting at the 13-yard line. They'll come out in the tight formation once again. Floyd, the spread back, looking deep downfield into coverage, nearly intercepted. Nice play, frankly, by the offense to knock the ball away. Devin Hardage able to force the incompletion because John Fritch was camped underneath that and ready for the interception.
That wind is working against Weatherford on this possession, and it looks like the ball just slowed up there right near the end.
Wind whipping hard from right to left.
Be interested to see what Coach Cox goes with here on 4th down and about 6 or 7. Because the problem is here, if they don't get a first down, that puts Heritage within easy striking distance to be able they've been able to run the ball for them to get back on top. So we'll see what Coach Cox does. Going to take a timeout, give himself a little bit more time to think about it.
Cox in his 7th year took this job after working for the city of Weatherford for several years. Said he didn't want to get to 30 and not be a head coach. Quit his job to take this opportunity and hired his father as his assistant coach. His father in his 50th year now, his father Charlie, his 50th year of coaching football. And trying to win a state championship today, but facing a difficult decision here on 4th down and 6 from their own 13-yard line. It'll certainly be a tough position for their defense if they do give the ball back.
For sure, yeah. We'll be interested to see. Almost kind of think maybe do kind of a spread formation there, and, you know, if they're able to get the first down, great. But if not, maybe tell Jackson Floyd, hey, quick punt it, you know, if we can't get to the first down, because that would be a huge win for Heritage if they can get a 4th down stop here.
Floyd is the punter for Weatherford Christian. Also the kicker, also the kickoff specialist, also the kickoff returner. He does an awful lot for the Lions.
I think I saw him making the Gatorade earlier, too, so he does a lot for the Lions.
.332 second quarter. Again, a low-scoring first half. Two teams that are used to putting up 50, 60, 70 points. Creeping up on halftime and 20 combined. Floyd back to pass. He will throw it for the 4th down conversion, and they convert. It's complete in the hands of Bryson Smith, and he's got the first down.
Gutsy move by Weatherford Christian pays off for them.
Yeah, huge play there by Smith to get that first down, about a gain of 8, I think. So that was huge for them because, as I said, that could have been a huge win for Heritage if they were able to make that stop.
Now clock continues to run, creeping up on 3 minutes left here in the second quarter. Weatherford Christian already with a 12-8 lead and trying to add to it. Ball at their own 21-yard line. Out of a tight formation on 1st and 15, and immediately in the backfield is Josh Herman. Colton Hassemjager taken down for a loss of 4 on the play. We've seen Herman in the backfield a couple of times on this drive.
Yeah, that was a huge play by Herman to be able to come off that edge. They were kind of do a little fullback sweep, try to see if they can catch the edge on there, and Josh Herman said no, sir.
So now 2nd down and 21. 1 timeout left for Weatherford, 1 timeout left for Heritage. Just a little over 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter. Motion man across the formation is Barry. They pitch it back for Floyd. He's in trouble in the backfield, evades 2 tacklers, and now he's got some space on the far side. Throws it high but caught, and that's Bryson Smith in the clear. Smith has a blocker across the 30. Smith inside the 20 and finally taken down out of bounds by John Fritch. Big play up the left sideline for Bryson Smith.
50-yard play there for Bryson Smith. That was definitely a broken play for sure. That was huge for him to be able to catch that ball and really make Heritage pay on that one.
Man, what a play by Jackson Floyd in the backfield to make all that happen on the front end. Getting away from Noah Given in the backfield. Nearly threw it over Bryson Smith's head. He had to extend for it to be able to haul it in. But that's going to set up first down and goal right at the 15-yard line for Weatherford Christian. Tight formation in motion again across the formation. They hand it off to Wyatt Berry, and he picks up about 4 on the play. Credit to Bryson Smith. Weatherford Christian is traditionally more of a running football team. Stephen Cox said because of the presence of Bryson Smith, he said they threw it much more this year than they're used to throwing the football because he is as talented as he is. Saw a little dose of that there as he got them down inside the red zone here, and looking at second down and goal now from the 11. Floyd, the spread back, gets a block from Bryson Smith, but knifing in behind that block is no surprise. John Fritsch makes the tackle, and that'll go down for no gain, and it'll be 3rd and goal.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. There's, about 30 seconds left in this second quarter, so going to be interesting to see what Coach Cox dials up here on 3rd and about 10. So going to need to score here because thankfully for them, they're going to get the ball back in the second half.
18 seconds on the clock now as they snap it on 3rd down and goal. Floyd into the end zone, touchdown. Jackson Floyd hauls it in near the front pylon, and beg your pardon, it's Jarrett Folan bringing it in for the touchdown. And Weatherford with their 3rd score of the game, and it's a double-digit lead for the Lions.
What an incredible drive. They had their backs against the wall on that 4th down all the way on the other side of the field, come all the way down. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns.
Now they're going to fake the field goal and throw it in the end zone for 1 point, and it's 19-8. Weatherford on top with 12 seconds to play here in the second quarter.
I think that was a smart move there by Weatherford Christian to be able to do that, run that fake and get that point because they missed it the last 2 times.
Yeah, each of their first 2 attempts for a 2-point kick were blocked by Heritage. This time they fake the kick and throw into the end zone. 1 point for that, and it's 19-8 in favor of Weatherford. I don't know that we expected Heritage to have only 8 points in the first half, did we, fellas?
No, sir, not at all. That was quite a surprise. Obviously, with Coach Shipman wanting to make sure the ball gets spread out so he's not wearing out Fritsch pretty early on, I think a smart move. But obviously, yeah, with Fredericksburg, the way they've been scoring, it's pretty surprising. Weatherford came to play, but, that's why we play 2 halves. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of come out, after the halftime break. Still about 12 seconds left to go. Maybe get a quick score here. That would probably be, more than what you want. But we'll have to see what they do at halftime for sure.
12 seconds to work with here for Heritage. They do have 1 timeout remaining. Jackson Floyd set to kick the ball away for Weatherford Christian. And it'll be Josh Herman deep to return for Heritage. You'll often see either Herman or Caden Bray back for the Eagles in the return game. High kick into the wind and just stood up, and very quickly taken down is Josh Herman.
Coach Shipman's got about 10 seconds left here, so time for 1-2 plays at the most. Interested to see if he, runs the ball, just tries to go into the half, or if he's going to try to do, trick play or 2 to be able to kind of maybe see if they can get some points on the board. I believe he's still got 2 timeouts left in his pocket, so could choose to use one of them if he gets a quick play here.
Scoreboard at least lists only 1 timeout remaining for both teams. I'm not sure if that's an error because I'm kind of with you. I only remember them calling 1 timeout, but it'll be 1st and 15 from the 26 with 10 seconds on the clock. They'll sling it back in the hands of Josh Herman. Looking over the middle, finds Caden Bray, and Bray's got some running room across midfield. Still on his feet. Time has expired, and that'll be the final play of the first half. A little excitement there from Caden Bray, but unfortunately for Heritage, he wasn't able to find pay dirt. And 19-8 the tally after 1 half of play. Weatherford Christian, 3 first-half touchdowns. Jackson Floyd involved in all 3 of them. And they've got an 11-point lead here at halftime.
Yeah, Floyd's had a good first half. He's been 7 of 10 for 116 yards and 2 touchdowns through the air, and then 6 for 37 on rushing for a touchdown as well. So as Mike said, he's been heavily involved with his offense, and for them to continue to be successful, he's going to have to be for sure.
So 19-8 the tally right now. Gabe, your thoughts on what we saw through 1 half of play?
You know, I think when we came into this game, at least for people who weren't part of the Weatherford Christian community, you sort of expected the pedigree of Heritage to really help them a little more than we've seen so far in this first half. I'm a little bit surprised, but folks over at Weatherford, they were here last year. Maybe they aren't so much as the rest of us.
19-8 our tally after 1 half of play. 20 minutes on the halftime clock. We'll be back in just a moment to break down a little further what we saw through 1 half of play, but we'll step aside here on TAPS TV at halftime of the 6-man Division III state championship game.
Lexi, Ellie J, Grace, Addie Joe, Jordan, Tylee, Emily, Meg, Lindsay, Addie, Shelby, Rachel, and Lily. Center of the field is the Fredericksburg Heritage cheerleading squad. Members of the Eagles cheerleading squad include junior Olivia Loki, freshman Madison Bradley, freshman Kate Eagle, junior Ryan Johnson, freshman Caroline Eagle, sophomore Eric Turnfritch, sophomores Heritage's own talent.
very own Gabe Duarte caught up with 2 representatives, one from each of the schools playing in our game today. Kind of trying to pass the time here with halftime schedule. About 11 minutes left to go, so we're going to play that for you, allow you to kind of hear what these people thought about the game today.
Duarte here with TAPS TV and radio. We found a special guest here on the sidelines just moments before the game. Introduce yourself for our audience, please.
Hi, I'm Lisa Smith with Weatherford Christian School out of Weatherford, Texas. We are super excited to be here. This will be our last year in 6-man football, so it's kind of a big deal for our school. And again, we're just excited to be here and end it on this note. I think this year we averaged about 300 students, give or take. We offer a multitude of different sports. I know our boys team won state championship 1A cross country this year, so that was a big deal. That was their 3rd year in a row, and oh gosh, we offer everything from cross country to volleyball, basketball, track, baseball, and so on. So yeah, we're a pretty active school.
And you're here for the 2nd year in a row. What's that like?
We are. I know the boys are super pumped. The coach is pumped up, and we're hoping to have a good show.
Terrific. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Great to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Back to you. Gabe Duarte here with TAPS TV and radio. Wandering around the field, we found a special guest from Heritage School.
I'm Kevin Perez, head girls basketball coach at Fredericksburg Heritage. Heritage is a small little community out in Fredericksburg, Texas. We've been going strong, got good fan base, good family, great teachers, great kids, and just blessed to be here.
We saw a big group welcoming the team in a little bit earlier. What's it like to be part of that community, and what's it like to be here at the state championship game?
Oh man, this is something Heritage is pretty good used to. This is head coach Tim Shipman. This is his 10th time being here, going for our 7th state title today. Wish those guys good luck. It's an exciting feeling. Our boys have worked their tails off to be here, so we're blessed and excited to be here. Give it all the glory of God.
Excellent. Best of luck.
Sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. back at Midway ISD Panther Stadium, halftime of the Division III six-man state championship game. Weatherford Christian leads the Heritage School Eagles 19-8 after one half of play. 3 Jackson Floyd touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 2 through the air. He hit Devin Hardage on a 4-yard touchdown pass, hit Jarrett Foland for a touchdown with just 12 seconds left in the second quarter. That's the scoring for Weatherford Christian. That all followed Heritage opening the scoring today. John Fritsch with a 16-yard touchdown run to make it 8-0 Heritage early on. Since then, 19 unanswered from Weatherford Christian. Mike Leslie, Matt Tarbutton, and Gabe Duarte back with you here in the booth. Gentlemen, a somewhat surprising first half of play.
Yeah, I think we expected to see a lot of the running game from Heritage, and that hasn't quite been the case. Surprisingly, a touchdown early, and then they really slowed down, so credit to the Weatherford Christian defense. And on the flip side, the Weatherford offense, 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. You can't ask for much more in a state championship game.
That's for sure. The biggest thing I'm going to look for in this second half is that mental toughness from these teams, because with both of these teams, obviously high-scoring teams, very physical teams, but to be able to see, hey, I haven't been in this situation a lot. How am I going to react? How am I going to, take on this challenge? Because, the lesser, person that's mentally strong, then they're not going to, oh, dang it, we're not going to get this. But, for those guys that you really can go through the grit and fire with you, they're like, hey, let's get this done. So it'll be interesting to see which team responds and which team, is able to take home the state championship.
Tim Shipman's obviously been through this before, 18 years at Heritage. This is his 9th state championship game. 6 titles over the course of that span, runner-up in 2012 and 2013. This is a program that is used to being on this stage, but it has been a couple of years since they've been back. This particular group hasn't been in this situation before. How do you think Shipman goes about trying to get these kids in that mindset that you're talking about, Matt, to be ready to come out here and overcome an 11-point halftime deficit?
Well, I think the thing is, it's just, when you're looking at this, they're, 11-point lead. You're not going to score an 11-point play.
Right.
Chip away, go get it, get the yardage we need. Obviously, you're playing from behind, so using up the clock isn't going to be the best thing to do right now. But to be able to get positive plays, to be able to get that yardage and get stops on defense, you just got to chip away. You can't freak out. You've got to allow yourself to breathe, allow yourself to be focused, be patient. But no, hey, positive things every time we, touch the ball or every time that, we're on the field. So if they can do that, and obviously Coach Shipman knows what he's doing, as you said, 9 times in the state championship game and, looking for his 8th state title. He knows what to do, obviously with a different group, as you said, not have played in a while or been here in a while. Obviously they've had siblings that have, but, hopefully they'll be able to rebound and come back and be able to get that 8th title for Coach Shipman in Fredericksburg.
Their job is difficult, though, because they had the ball to start the football game. So after Weatherford Christian scored late in the second quarter, they get the ball first to start the third quarter as well. And we'll have the third quarter of action for you right after this on TAPS TV. Third quarter just moments away here from Midway ISD's Panther Stadium in Waco. The Division III six-man state championship game between Heritage School, 12-0 on the year, 3-0 in Division III District 3 against 12-1 Weatherford Christian, went 6-0 in their district, District 2. These two teams a combined 24-1 on the year. One of them will suffer a loss today. The other, your six-man Division III state champion, and we got 20 minutes left to figure out who that will be. Weatherford with a 19-8 lead will have the football first here in the second half. Barring an onside kick here from Heritage, which they say they haven't done much of this year. Josh Herman, their kicker, can put it in the end zone, so they usually tend to go in that direction, but down 11 at halftime? Might they pull a trick out of their hat here?
I think they might. It just kind of depends. You know, obviously probably want to be able to score again and kick off again, so they might try it there. But, you know, be interested to see, especially with the wind going against them, or going with them, excuse me, might kick it deep. And they do.
Herman puts it in the end zone, and it will be a touchback in Weatherford Christian football to start off half number 2. A very impressive first half from Jackson Floyd. 7 of 10, 116 yards and 2 touchdown passes, 6 carries for 37 yards and another score, leading his team out to this 19-8 lead after one half of play. And now his team's got the football at the 20-yard line, 1st and 15, and looking to add to that 11-point lead.
I think if I'm Coach Cox here from Weatherford Christian, definitely going to keep, you know, doing what I've been doing well, and obviously try to use up some clock as well.
Weatherford Christian making their second straight state championship appearance, looking for a win this year. Looking deep over the middle, nearly intercepted. That ball was very dangerous and nearly picked off by Jack Henderson. Dropped it right at the 47-yard line.
Throwing into the wind, we've had a strong wind from right to left working against Weatherford on this possession all game long, and I think it picked up a little bit over the half. The 3 balls that were set at midfield started rolling across the field with the wind. Forecast reports 18 miles per hour with gusts up to 25. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out here in the second half.
Yeah, we're seeing every bit of that right now. And I suppose for Weatherford being the team that throws the football more of these two teams, going into the wind in the third quarter may be advantageous. You'd rather have it with you in the final frame, but certainly nearly cost them right there as that ball was almost intercepted by Jack Henderson. Sets up 2nd down and 15 from their own 20. A little misdirection in the backfield. Nice job to break a tackle in the backfield, and now into the clear goes Wyatt Berry. Berry being chased down from behind inside the 25-yard line to the 24. A big pickup by the 5'8 senior.
Boy, Wyatt just ran over Caden Bray there. What a great run.
36-yard gain there by the runner. Excellent job there just to, you know, be strong and physical at that point of attack. That was huge. You know, thought it was just going to be another run play, get a couple yards, but whew, he took him for a ride there.
Once he broke the first tackle, it was nothing but green space in front of him, and credit to Heritage for being able to chase him down, but only just barely. Now they pitch it back for Floyd, deep down the near sideline, into the end zone. I beg your pardon, just shy of the end zone, and right down to the 1-yard line goes Jarrett Foland. Inside the 1.
Wasn't sure who had that at first because it looked like Heritage may have intercepted it. Then it looked like they did.
Now quick back to the line in a tight formation. Handoff up the middle. Wyatt Berry, touchdown. Weatherford with a statement to start the second half.
Great use of tempo there by the Lions to be able to, you know, get that huge play there on the last play, then to quickly line up and get that touchdown. That was huge. That's the way you want to open a second half ball game for sure.
What was that, 4 plays? 4 plays on that drive?
4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, thinking back over it, I think it was 4. They go for the 1-point conversion here and get it once again, 26-8. Weatherford Christian all over Heritage a minute into quarter number 3. Every time the Lions have touched the football, they have found the end zone. Now 4 for 4 and an 18-point lead.
And that definitely helps for Weatherford Christian being the second year in a row. A lot of times you see teams like that are super hungry because they've been there before, couldn't get it done. You know, it's one thing you tell kids, you're gonna remember this no matter what. You're either gonna remember, a great memory for 364 days, or you're gonna remember a bad memory. And the way Weatherford's playing right now, they're trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth so they can replace it with a good one in state championship.
Lost to Baytown Christian last year in the state title game, 49-34, and that loss has stuck with them every last day since then. They're feeling pretty good about where they sit right now, 26-8 ahead of Heritage early on here in the third quarter. Wyatt Berry with a big run up the near sideline. Then Jackson Floyd hitting Jarrett Folan to get the ball down inside the 1. Berry finishes the job, and it's a touchdown in 4 plays. I believe you're right. I think it's 4 plays for Weatherford Christian. I think they had run 1 play prior to the big run from Wyatt Berry. And in just 1 minute flat, Weatherford on the board again, 26-8. Jackson Floyd to kick it away. Sends it into the wind. A fair catch called for and made by Caden Bray. And now here comes Heritage in an 18-point hole.
Yeah, they haven't seen that too much this season. That's going to be interesting to see how they respond here on this starting drive for them in the second half.
10 of their 12 opponents this year, they have mercy ruled. They are not accustomed to playing 4-quarter football games, and that's a credit to them. They've put themselves in that situation. But they certainly have a slog in front of them right now, trailing by 18 early on in the third quarter. Tight formation for the Eagles. Pitch it back to John Fritch, and you imagine it's going to be a whole lot of him over the course of this third quarter. Flag is down at the 24-yard line.
I think they're going to call holding on Fredericksburg there. Unfortunate, because that was a great run there by Fritch. He's gonna have to be their workhorse here in the second half if they're going to want to cut down on this lead.
Carlton Coleman, our referee today, does indeed signal a hold against the Heritage offense. Brings the ball back to the 14. It will set up second down, and I beg your pardon, a replay of first down, but first now and about 21 it looks like. Another tight formation here from the Eagles. Fritch and Herman on the left side of the formation. Fritch is going to block for Herman, and he's got some running room. A cut back across the 25. Herman, he's got the first down and then some across midfield, still on his feet and dragging tacklers. Finally taken down out of bounds on the near side, down to the 33.
I think Weatherford, the mistake they made there is trying to strip the ball before they secured the tackle, because Herman was able to get, I would say, probably a good 10 yards because of that great second effort from him. Big thing you always have to tell football players, defensive players, you got to secure the tackle first before you try to strip the ball out, because if not, you're going to give too much yardage to that runner.
So Heritage overcomes the holding penalty, and 1st and 21 in one play. And now they're across midfield at the 33. Tight formation once again. Herman and Fritch facing one another on either sides of the formation here. Herman with Richburg out in front, gets a block. He's got the corner. Herman, first down and then some. Cut down inside the 15, out of bounds at the 10.
That's an excellent block there by Fritch. He just manhandled the defender on that one. Heritage setting up in that double wing formation, kind of what you see with the, triple option from Navy, Air Force. You see a lot from the service academies. Coach Shipman has adapted it to the 6-man level, and it's working well because you've got 2 running backs that can really, really work.
Whistles here before 1st and goal from the 10. Not sure what Luis Pena, our head linesman, saw wrong with the situation, but now we're ready for play on 1st down and goal. Pitch it back to Fritch, looping around on the near side, inside the 5, touch. Oh, ball came loose at the end of the play, but they say it is indeed a touchdown. Fritch, he ended up getting the football back, so even if the ball had broken loose before the goal line, he did recover it, so it would be a touchdown either way. And John Fritch with his second score of the afternoon, a 10-yard touchdown run, and it's 26-14.
A tip of the cap to number 11, Sam Richburg. Back-to-back plays with big blocks. That one leading to a touchdown. Here he is for the kick.
Richburg's extra point up and through, and 26-16. Once again, the importance of making extra points rearing its head here early on in the third quarter. Heritage has been able to make both of their 2-point PATs. Makes it 26-16 after the Fritch touchdown run, and maybe a little bit of life here for the Eagles.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how Coach Cox from Weatherford Christian kind of, changes what he does on defense, because obviously, as you saw with that double wing formation, Heritage was able to run the ball at will, which obviously they've been able to do most of the year, but you can't allow Heritage to get that confidence going, because being, with a player like Fritch and, support him, cast around them with Herman and Richburg and all those guys, you can't give a team like that confidence. You've got to be able to get some stops. So it's going to be a big third quarter and big fourth quarter here in the state championship ball game.
Heritage had not scored since the first possession, and now let's see if they can flip the page on defense and slow down the Weatherford Lions.
Fritch now over 100 yards on the day and 2 touchdown runs. And Matt, we were talking about Fritch at halftime and the fact that it didn't seem like he had gotten the football enough. Sounds like he may have gotten at least a little bit dinged up last week against Summit Christian, so maybe not playing at 100%. But at this point, with 7:48 left in the third quarter of the state title game, kind of feels like they need to ride him no matter what the situation is from a health perspective, because he's a big part of why they were able to move the football on that drive, and anytime they have moved the football today, it's been on his shoulders.
Oh, for sure. I mean, you're going to have to, you're going to have to do what got you here. So if you, not going to be able to change up the formula too much, especially with only having about 12 guys. So it's going to be interesting to see, but we'll see what Coach Shipman does next time he gets the ball.
Kickoff through the end zone from Josh Herman after they had to tee it up because of the wind.
The yard markers blowing onto the field there right before that kickoff.
Yeah, we've lost about half the yard markers on the near side and at least 3 on the far side as well.
Definitely reminds me of home. They're on the Texas Panhandle. Definitely used to the wind a little bit for sure. So I would feel right at home down on that field. But good thing for us, I guess, up here is being in the press box, so we don't have to worry about weather too much.
Matt, I thought you were going to break into song there for a second.
No, George does it much better than I do. So
1st and 15, and very quickly on top of Jackson Floyd is this Heritage defense. Josh Herman has been very good defensively from that linebacker position all afternoon.
I mean, Coach Shipman's got, number 12 Herman, number 28 Fritch at those ends, and they are playing everything like you want some defensive ends to play. They're quick, they're fast, they're aggressive, and they've got good size to them. So if they can continue to not allow Weatherford to get the open spots, especially in 6-man where you're trying to get to the corner, if they can continue to stop them, it'll be huge.
Heritage with all 6 defenders right at the line of scrimmage here on 2nd down and 15. Floyd, the spread back, looking on the left-hand side, completes it to Smith. Can't break a tackle, and they'll go for a gain of 6.
Number 33, Noah Gibbon, wrapping up and bringing him down there. Nice open field tackle.
I think the thing you're going to see from Coach Cox here is he's going to be willing to, kind of, dump the ball, run the ball a little bit more, not as much open, open formations as he's done, because I think he's good to take 3 or 4 or 5 yards of play, because, you get 15 yards in 3 plays, you're going to get a first down, and obviously wanting to use his clock too.
7 seconds on the play clock when they snap it here on 3rd down and 9. Thrown over the middle, incomplete, no flag, a little contact at the point. Jarrett Folan.
I think that was a good no call there by the officiating crew. Some people, especially people on the Weatherford side, probably thought he jumped the pass a little early, but sometimes defenders time it so well it looks like it does, but that was great play there by Heritage.
So 4th down and 9 here, 6:14 third quarter, and a decision once again for Stephen Cox and company.
This would be huge for Heritage if they can get the stop here, because that would give them a short field to be able to operate.
Ball on the 26. Perhaps lining up to punt here is Weatherford Christian. Now Folan's going to try and throw it downfield. Floyd incomplete right at the sticks. And it's going to be Heritage football as they can't convert on 4th down. And I think that's one of the Folan brothers that was diving for that loose ball. Jarrett Foland down on the field, and we'll step aside for a injury timeout.
Aiden loves playing baseball. He's in his element when he picks up a baseball bat.
When Aiden tore his ACL last year, we were all devastated. We didn't think that a 13-year-old could have a problem such as that.
Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedic and Sports Medicine not only repaired Aiden's ACL, but they gave him the knowledge and skills to prevent any future injuries.
Now, less than a year later, he's back to hitting homers and doing phenomenal.
Back at Panther Stadium in Waco, that was Bryson Smith. I apologize. I thought it was one of the Folan brothers initially that was down on the field. Bryson Smith, the junior wide receiver, slow to get up. He did walk off under his own power, but slowly. We'll keep an eye on whether or not the junior, number 26, makes his way back out on the football field over the course of the final 16 minutes and 8 seconds of this football game. But in the meantime, fellas, a big 4th down stop for Heritage to set up 1st and 10 at the 24-yard line on Weatherford's side of the field here. 6:08 to play here in the third quarter, and they send it back to John Fritsch once again, and this time well defended. Tried to fight his way through a couple tackles and at least managed to gain a yard on the play, but that time Weatherford was prepared for the little double wing formation that they've been throwing at him.
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably maybe a double pass here or something from Coach Shipman to kind of open it up, allow them not to be able to, just kind of sit there and watch the sweeps, maybe a dive down the middle. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what he pulls out of the bag here.
2nd down and 14. Ball right at the 25-yard line. Heritage trailing by 10, but now with an opportunity to carve into that substantially. Fritsch on the pitch, breaks a tackle across the 20. down to the 18.
Nice stiff arm there by Fritch. Really a strong runner. Really, imposing his will on Weatherford Christian. Got, third and about 7 here, so be interested to see if they run the ball or throw the ball here. Probably, I would say, especially from Coach Shipman, maybe a run-pass option.
Fritch the deep back on 3rd down and 7. They pitch it back to him, then hand it back to Richburg. Richburg looking over the middle, has a man complete. He dropped it right at the end. An opportunity there for Aiden Hickey, and he could have walked into the end zone but couldn't squeeze it.
That was a great play there, drawn up by Coach Shipman, executed well, just couldn't hold on. That's one of those ones where it's just takes all the wind out of you sometimes.
Now they need to find their win quick because it's 4th down and 7. Still trailing by 10 and needing points on this possession for sure. Ball sits at the 18, need to get to the 11 for a 1st down. Double wing formation again with Fritch and Herman. Hand off to Fritch, up the middle, breaks a tackle, and he's into the end zone. John Fritch, touchdown on 4th and 7, and Heritage has cut it down to a 4-point game.
Great deception on the fake handoff, and then Fritch took it and motored down, did the rest.
That was impressive there, guys, to really, you got to have some gumption to be able to, on 4th and 7, call that kind of play. That was huge, but, hadn't done it at all. They've been running the sweeps. So that was a great play call there by Coach Shipman. Way to execute from the Eagles.
John Fritch with an 18-yard touchdown run, and now a flag here on the PAT. See what Carlton Cole and company have to say. False start. That'll make the PAT a little more difficult here as they set it back now at the 8-yard line. Obviously, they're still going to try and kick for 2 here with Sam Richburg, their quarterback, also their kicker. 4:36 on the clock here in the 3rd quarter, and if this goes through, it'll be a 2-point football game. Richburg's extra point is indeed up and through, and it's 26-24. What was at one point an 18-point Weatherford Christian lead, now cut to 2.
We've got a player down and a flag.
Player down is Jackson Folan, and we'll step aside again for an injury timeout.
4:36 our score now.
Aiden loves playing baseball. He's in his element when he picks up a baseball bat.
When Aiden tore his ACL last year, we were all devastated. We didn't think that a 13-year-old could have a problem such as that.
Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedic and Sports Medicine not only repaired Aiden's ACL, but they gave him the knowledge and skills to prevent any future injuries.
Now, less than a year later, he's back to hitting homers and doing phenomenal.
Jackson Folan back up on his feet and jogging off the field after the PAT. 26-24, Weatherford's lead cut down to 2 here late in the 3rd quarter. Heritage with consecutive John Fritch touchdown runs. One from 10 yards, one from 18 yards out. The second one on a 4th and 7 conversion. Huge play, made a nice move to make the only real defender that had a chance at him miss. And then he was into the clear for the touchdown. And fellas, all of a sudden, this has become a much more interesting football game.
Absolutely. Going to see how Weatherford is able to really rebound on this drive that they're about to start. It's going to be huge for them because, they were pretty successful in the first half, able to get a good score off the first possession in the second half. But now they're kind of reeling only up 2. So it'll be interesting to see what Coach Cox and his team is able to rebound here. This is going to be a huge drive for the Weatherford Christian Lions.
Herman set to kick it away. We've seen him put it in the end zone twice already in this half, and he'll send it deep once again. Line drive, skips through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback for the Weatherford Christian offense.
Yeah, the recipe for success for Heritage been, sprinkle in a little bit of Herman, sprinkle in a little bit of Richburg, and give me a heavy helping of Fritsch. So I think they're going to stick with that the rest of this ball game. Defensively, they've done pretty well. They've kind of done that bend but don't break. So we'll see what Weatherford draws up, see if they can open up the game a little bit more.
The fourth down stop they got on Weatherford's last offensive possession was the first time they officially made a defensive stop today. The pass complete on the near side as Jarrett Foland is ripped to the ground. Pickup of 6 on 1st and 15.
Weatherford receivers are very physical off the line, able to get that separation. That's been huge for them. It's not like Weatherford's doing anything super complicated on that play. It was just, double outs by the tight ends. But they are so physical off the line, able to get that separation. And obviously with the Weatherford quarterback, being a pretty good athlete, he's going to get it to him.
2nd down and 9 as we tick under 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. And in the backfield, and he pitched it back to Jackson Foland, and Foland's going to throw it in the dirt, incomplete. And all of that to go is no gain, is probably for the best for Weatherford Christian. Nice play by Wyatt Berry to toss it back to his quarterback.
Yeah, that was an excellent job there by the Heritage defense, keeping everything in front of them. Obviously, as we said before, broken plays can be huge plays in 6-man, but then there's sometimes where you're like, man, that was a lot of work for nothing. So that's just, I guess, the way it goes sometimes.
Josh Herman finding himself in the backfield time after time after time, especially here in the second half. He's been very, very good for this Heritage defense. 3rd down and 9. Floyd has all day in the pocket, looks deep over the middle, incomplete, trying to find Wyatt Berry up the seam. And it falls incomplete. It'll be 4th and 9.
Another huge 4th down decision here for Coach Cox. If you're coach, are you going to punt it, or would you try to run a play here?
We've seen them already fail on one 4th down here in the second half that led to that last Heritage score to cut this to a 2-point lead. A lot of discussion on that far sideline. 15 seconds on the play clock as they come running in with the play. Jackson Floyd and Jackson Foland. Good to see Jackson back on the field after he went down after the PAT. 4th down and 9, 4 seconds to snap the football. They get it off. Floyd, pressured from behind by Herman, throws on the near side, too tall, incomplete.
This is definitely huge for Heritage. The one thing, and it's talked about probably quite a bit in the pro game, some in the college game, sometimes in high school game as well, but it's momentum. Heritage has been able to gain a huge amount of momentum in the last drive, offensively and defensively. They've come up with big stops, and they've really got Weatherford reeling. I mean, Weatherford, they were running and gunning earlier, but now with Heritage getting some stops, getting some points on the board, is able to kind of dictate the flow of this game.
4 possessions in the first half for Weatherford Christian. 3 in the first half for Weatherford Christian. 1 early on here in the second half. Each of their first 4 possessions, they scored touchdowns. Since then, back-to-back 4th down stops by this Heritage Christian defense. And as a result, they've got the football back, and Fritsch once again with a 1st down run. And he's inside the 10-yard line. We do have a player down behind the play. Looks to be Eli Christensen. And once again, we'll step aside for an injury timeout.
I would say there's nothing more important in life than learning how to present something that you want people to know. There's nothing more important than the ability to say, this is what I believe, what do you believe, and how can we reach a consensus? Whether you're an actor, an athlete, a business person, you need to know how to do that.
I play soccer, basketball, and I run on the track team. Soccer for my high school was a lot more hard. You were playing with your friends, you were playing with your classmates, your coach was from your school as well. You had the name on the front of your jersey that meant something to you on and off the field. It made you much more committed, much more driven.
Back at Panther Stadium here in Waco, 26-24, Weatherford Christian with a 2-point lead on Heritage. Back up on his feet now is the senior center for Heritage, Eli Christensen. Gets a little love from Josh Herman as he goes off the field. A substantial limp as he walks off here on the near side at the 30-yard line.
Be interested to see what Coach Shipman does here. Obviously, with your center quarterback exchange, it's huge, and having a senior at center, that's big for him. But now he's gonna have to put in an underclassman and see how this affects things.
Caden Bray plays center sometimes. It looks like they're going to rotate Aiden Hickey, though, down. Usually their starting guard down to play center as they hand it off for Herman, and Herman immediately cut down right at the line of scrimmage. Colton Hassenjaeger making the play.
Heritage getting away from the double wing formation on that one. Back to the old Jaybird offense there. Be interested to see what they continue to do on this drive. Obviously, they're going to continue to run the ball, but probably a little bit of running, probably a little bit of play action.
Second down and goal from the 11. Again, the double wing formation, and again it goes to Herman. Herman. Flag flies as he gets down to the 6. Looks like it's going to be another hold against the Heritage offense. It is indeed, and that's going to make second down and goal quite a bit longer. Ball marked all the way back to the 17-yard line. Still a goal-to-go situation here for the Eagles offense. Trailing by 2, 2.5 minutes on the clock here in quarter number 3. 16 unanswered points from Heritage, and they're trying to add to it. Pitch back to Caden Bray. Bray can't break a tackle, taken down right at the line of scrimmage. And once again, it's Hassenjaeger making the play.
Good job there from the Weatherford Christian defense. Heritage tried to spread them out a little bit, but they kept everything in front of them, were able to wrap them up, make a good open play against a pretty athletic kid in Bray. So with third and 18, got the goal to go. Be interested to see what Coach Shipman does here. I would say either some sort of run-pass option or maybe go to a spread formation and pass the ball.
Third and goal from the 18. Fritsch sends it back for Herman. Flies it over the far side. Touchdown.
Looks like there was a little bit of confusion on the Weatherford defense. They had a late substitution, and they let Noah Given get wide open there.
Noah Given all alone. Touchdown Heritage, and they take the lead back for the first time since it was 8-6.
That was an excellent play call there, a little play action. Allowed Given to get open on the backside. That was huge. That's, you kind of say a lot of times in coaching, that's the way I drew it up. I'm pretty sure that was the way that one was drawn up. Worked to perfection.
And now 3 straight touchdowns from Heritage. This time the PAT is blocked, so it will remain 30-26. First time today that Heritage has not converted on the PAT. But Heritage back in front for the first time since early on in quarter number 2. Been a game of runs today. Heritage with the early 8-0 lead, then 26 unanswered from Weatherford Christian to take a 26-8 lead, and now Heritage has responded in kind, 22 straight points to take the lead back, and that's where we stand here. 1:32 to play, third quarter, and a 30-26 Heritage lead. John Fritsch with 3 touchdown runs on the day. He was involved in the touchdown there, but pitched it back to Herman, who find a wide open Noah Given for the 18-yard touchdown pass. See if Weatherford can find another run.
They're going to have to right now because they cannot lose this momentum battle to Heritage. Heritage has been able to get the lead, and so let's see how they respond.
Deep kick once again from Herman through the end zone.
Yeah, a lot of times in six-man you're going to see the onside kick, but Heritage every time has kicked that ball deep. But with the way their defense is playing right now, I agree with what Coach Shipman is doing. You've got to really push them, pin them back deep, because as you can see, it's given Heritage great field position when they get the ball on offense, which is, allowed them to get this 4-point lead.
Back-to-back fourth down stops by that Heritage Eagles defense. And that is what has allowed them to go on this 22-point run. See if they can make another stop defensively. Jackson Floyd gets the pitch out of the spread back, and they'll pick up 5 on the first play of the possession.
Floyd's been a huge part of this offense for Weatherford today and obviously the whole season. I think you're going to have a steady dose of him if you want to get back on putting some points on this scoreboard, because he's been the one that's been able to do it. Throwing the ball hasn't been super successful here in the second half.
Floyd once again looking to throw. Trouble. Fires over the middle. Tip nearly picked off. Caden Bray had a chance at it.
Coach Shipman's doing a great job calling this defense because he's forcing Jackson Floyd to throw this ball, which Jackson can do, but obviously, as you can see, when he's trying to roll out, he's trying to find that run first, I believe. And so, to force Jackson to throw that ball, especially on a contested receiver, he's playing pretty smart football right now, Coach Shipman is, by, putting his guys in position to be successful.
I can't help but wonder how much will that change in quarter number 4 when they're heading in the other direction and don't have to contend with the wind. 55 seconds left in this third quarter, and Floyd's going to look to throw again. Throws it in the dirt. At the feet of Hassenjager, and it'll be 4th down and 10. 50 seconds. Third quarter. 30-26. Heritage in front here in the TAP 6-man Division III state championship game. Mike Leslie, Matt Tarbutton, and Gabe Duarte here with you for all 3 6-man state championship games this afternoon and into the evening. 4th down and 10 from the 25 for Weatherford. And they're going to punt it away. Straight up in the air and into the wind. And they're the beneficiaries of a decent bounce, because otherwise that punt didn't go very far trying to fight the wind, but it does at least get to the other side of the field. They'll mark it at the 37. And Heritage once again with a defensive stop. Now 3 straight possessions. They have siphoned off this Weatherford Christian offense.
Heritage has about 39 seconds left in this third quarter. Obviously probably going to see a steady dose of the run again from the Eagles. They've been able to run the ball, pretty at will for the last, 8 minutes or so, 9 minutes of this third quarter, obviously with a little bit of play action sprinkled in there. We'll see what Coach Shipman does now.
So Richburg in the offense on 1st and 15 from their own 36, we'll call it. They pitch it back for John Fritsch. He's got the corner across midfield and knocked out of bounds inside the 35-yard line, mark it at the 34, and it'll be 2nd down and 5.
Wyatt Berry for the Lions able to finally bring down Fritsch, but not until substantial gain.
15 seconds and moving here, third quarter. Looks like they're going to hustle back to the line and try and get one more snap here in the frame. Fritsch again. diving his way forward and very close to the first down marker. Looks like he'll have enough for the first down, and that will be the final play of quarter number 3 here from Waco's Panther Stadium. 30-26, Heritage in front by 4, and with the football looking to add to it when we come back on TAPS TV. Fourth quarter action from Panther Stadium, 30-26, the lead for Heritage in the 6-man Division III state championship game. Heritage having scored 22 consecutive points, trying to add to that run and add to their 4-point lead. They've got first down and 10 at the 28-yard line, trying to go in for another score. Fritch fighting on the right-hand side and spinning his way forward to the 25, call it the 24.
I think Coach Shipman here is satisfied with getting, 4, 5, 6 yards of play, kind of milk the clock a little bit more. He knows he's obviously got momentum on his side, so no need to try to do any, trickeration or anything right here. It's just willing to grind it out a little bit. Obviously, what they've been doing well at throughout the season, being able to, hold opponents to small scores and then being able to put a lot of points on. So I think he's really going to use this clock to his advantage if he can.
40 seconds gone by here in quarter number 3. Quarter number 4, second down and 12. And Fritch will get it once again. This time, not a lot of running room as Weatherford was trying to pull at the football there. Down to the 21-yard line. It'll be third down and about 7.
Coach Shipman is doing a good job of really making Weatherford Christian stay honest, because the problem is a lot of times, especially with run-heavy teams, they tend to fall asleep and, hey, they're just going to run the ball, and he's done a great job of either having the running back pass or have a good play action dialed in there to really get his offense to open up and really force Weatherford to be, keep him honest.
Definitely using an awful lot of clock. He's going to call timeout here as the play clock was about to expire. 8:24, fourth quarter. Heritage has gotten certainly a big day out of John Fritch, but Josh Herman certainly very involved in what they've done as well. Noah Given with a touchdown reception just a few minutes ago to give them the lead back for the first time since early on in the second quarter. Now on third down and 8, they need to try and keep the sticks moving and try and find pay dirt once again. The 3 touchdowns for Heritage there in that third quarter, guys, came in a 6-minute and 16-second span. Fritch with the 2 touchdown runs, and then Herman to Given on the touchdown pass. Very quickly, this went from a 26-8 Weatherford Christian lead to a 30-26 Heritage lead. The game turned on its ear in a very short span. 3 consecutive defensive stops from Heritage. And they're trying to capitalize on the third right now. Herman pitches it out for Fritsch, and he's into the end zone once again. 4th touchdown on the day for John Fritsch. And Heritage has opened up a 2-score lead.
That was an excellent strategy there by Coach Shipman. I don't know if Weatherford noticed or not. They might have, might not have. But he puts his star running back at center and is able to dump it to him to get that score. That was huge, huge play call there by Coach Shipman.
So now a 36-26 lead, and they'll try to add to it here with the PAT. Fredericksburg now 4 for 5 on the day on the 2-point PATs, 38-26, and the flag came in for at least running into the kicker. Looks like they'll have a little discussion here on the sideline between Carlton Cole and Tim Shipman as far as what they want to do with the penalty. Looked like Cole was telling him that he has to decline the penalty, which, Matt, maybe you can help me out here with this. Is this different in 6-man from 11-man football? I would have thought that you could have applied that penalty to the kickoff if you wanted to, but it looked like he was explaining to Coach Shipman that isn't the case.
Well, I think what it was running into the kicker. It wasn't roughing the kicker. So I believe running into the kicker's, 5-yard penalty. And so, that would have been halfway to the goal and had to re-kick. So Coach Shipman obviously got the extra point. So if it would have been roughing the kicker, instead of just running into him, I think that would have been enforced on the kickoff. So, we kind of saw that into play last week with the Ole Miss Mississippi State game.
Yeah.
You get a penalty there, and then your kicker makes the 35-yard extra point. So it can definitely help.
Now, perhaps you can refresh my memory. What led to that penalty? Do you happen to? I won't make you do it.
I have to say it was a very interesting acting job there.
It was a celebration of sorts.
Yeah, an interesting celebration I've seen.
38-26 is it's going to be Floyd picking up the kickoff and running laterally. Ball be at the 22 is now trailing by 12. Here comes Weatherford. 8:12 on the clock here in the 4th quarter. First time today they've faced a 2-score deficit. 30 consecutive points scored by Heritage.
Yeah, I think if Weatherford isn't able to score on this one, that might be game over, because the way Fredericksburg has just been able to dominate this half has been huge. I think Weatherford wants to stay in this game. They're going to have to put some points on the board now.
1st and 15 from the 22. Handoff up the middle for Barry. Still a lot of time. 3 timeouts left for Weatherford Christian, 2 for Heritage. So there's plenty of time, theoretically, for Weatherford to make something happen here, but they need to move quickly.
And being a more pass-happy team, they've got the wind working with them this time, albeit down a receiver. Number 26, Bryson Smith, who went down with injury earlier, has not returned to this game. It doesn't look like he's going to.
They pitch it out on the near side, but very well read by the Heritage defense. Colton Hostenjager had nowhere to go, and Josh Herman involved in the play once again.
Yeah, the Eagles of Heritage School have done a great job of really sealing those corners. I've only seen Weatherford be able to gain the corner. Really, and I think it's been a lot on broken plays. So really in 6-man, especially if, you're trying to stretch that field, trying to get to the corners. Heritage, with their ends, Fritsch and Herman have done a great job sealing those off.
Caden Bray there for that play as well. Sets up 3rd down and 13. 7 minutes on the clock, 4th quarter. Weatherford Christian down 12, need to make something happen. Floyd sending it deep down the middle of the field, just a little bit too far for Devin Hartage to chase it down, and it'll be 4th and 13.
The pressure was coming. He had to get rid of it maybe a little quicker than he wanted to. And that was number 12, Josh Herman, in his face.
Yeah, I'm not saying this is going to be the play of the game here, but they're going to have to do something. They've got to get on the scoreboard now. Coach Shipman, Herman and Fritch and crew, they have got to like their chances now. They can get this stop and be able to use some clock and score. It'd be huge.
4th down and 13. Ball on their own 24-yard line. Weatherford down 12. 6:51 on the clock, 4th quarter. And now a timeout called by Weatherford Christian. Got a little snapshot of what the Heritage defense is going to show them, and maybe think they've got a better play to run against that look.
Yeah, definitely good idea there by Coach Cox. I mean, you've got 4th and say about 12 or 13 here on this play. You really got to be able to nail this one. I think Weatherford's done a pretty good job executing. Obviously not as good as Heritage has, especially in the last quarter and a half, but this has got to be the play where you've got to be on. It can't be, well, that was a brain fart. State championship ball game, little under 7 minutes to go. You've got to execute. This is, during your, summer conditioning, off season, your other sports you play as well, you always talk about that 4th quarter. And that's that time right now. You got to be able to execute right now and be able to, show them what you've been working for and be able to put it to fruition.
Stephen Cox in his 7th year at Weatherford Christian, coaching in his 2nd straight state championship game. Last year, a loss by 15 points against Baytown Christian in this game. Today, against Heritage, trying to come back from 12 down in the final 6:51. 4th down and 13. They send a man in motion. It's Floyd. Hit in the backfield and no opportunity whatsoever for the Weatherford Christian offense. In the backfield immediately was Boston Cox. I beg your pardon, Aiden Hickey in the backfield to make the play on 4th down, and it'll be Heritage football as they take it over on downs.
Huge play there by the Heritage defense. They got pressure on Floyd, and I think the receiver he was throwing to, he was trying to throw to his center, but he wasn't looking. He was trying to pancake the defender. So a little miscommunication there, but, sometimes a lot of coaches like pressure defense, bend or don't break, but that was absolutely the right call there by Coach Shipman.
Noah Given in the backfield as well. I think he was the one who actually made contact with the quarterback. And with 6:46 left in the 4th quarter, Heritage takes the football back up by 12 and a chance to salt this one away. Fritch, patient, and eventually falls forward to the 20, a pickup of 4. As we lose Matt Tarbutton from the booth, he's going to make his way down to assist in the trophy presentation here post-game. So for the final 6:22, Gabe, it's just you and me.
That's right.
Let's see what happens over the course of this final stretch of the football game. Heritage certainly in control right now, though.
Yeah, we talked about momentum early in this game. It was all with Weatherford Christian. I wondered how and when that switch would get flipped, and it did in a huge way.
Harmon breaks one tackle and drags his way to the 12.
Heritage has just not looked back since they started this run.
30 consecutive points for Fredericksburg Heritage Christian. Now 3rd down and about 3. We've got to get to the 9-yard line. Beg your pardon, call it 3rd and 4. Ball sits on the 13. 5:52, and at the moment stopped, the clock is, after he went out of bounds there on that 2nd down run. Richburg under center. Double wing formation once again, and the handoff goes to Fritch. Fritch being dragged from behind. Close to the 1st down marker, but a little shy, and it'll be 4th down and about a yard.
Fritch just so successful being able to shake off that first contact, and it's taking the 2nd, 3rd, or sometimes 4th defender from Weatherford to get there and stop him.
4th down and really less than a yard, and it looks like Carlton Cole might be calling for a measurement. He's waving at the far side chain gang, but they haven't moved yet. Finally, here comes the chain gang to see just how close this fourth down will be. If you're Weatherford, you have to make a stop here.
Absolutely.
Your only opportunity to come back in this football game is if you can somehow stop this Heritage Heritage Eagles offense on fourth down and about a half a yard.
You can see number 42, Eli Christensen, who went out injured earlier, is back in the game. He was trying to stretch it out there, the big center for Heritage.
Quickly to the line, it's going to be Fritch under center. Rather Richburg, and he sends it out for Herman. Fritch with the lead block. Herman to the corner. Herman to the pylon. Touchdown, Heritage.
Tiptoes inside the pylon. And the crowd can feel it here for Heritage. 44-26 with the extra point to come.
Nice block on the edge by John Fritch after Herman got the pitch from Sam Richburg. And Heritage now in front 44-26. Pending the 2-point try here from Sam Richburg. Once again, he puts it up and through 46-26 in favor of Heritage. They have now scored 38 consecutive points to take control of this football game, and they are 5-22 away from the 6th state championship for head coach Tim Shipman. Fritch is certainly the bell cow, Gabe, I think, for this Heritage offense, obviously. But credit to Josh Herman and the impact he has had late in this football game. 2 touchdown passes and then the touchdown run right there to help open this game up. He had the touchdown pass to Given, the 18-yarder, to give them the lead back for the first time since early on in the second quarter. And then a touchdown pass to Fritch down on this end early on in the fourth. And then a touchdown run just moments ago.
Yeah, a lot of depth even among this small team. They've got a lot of guys that they can lean on to help make it happen for Heritage. And they've shown that throughout the course of this second half. It's been a really impressive run here. And you know, we talked about the pedigree earlier, the experience. And hats off to Coach Shipman. He knew how to let his team not get worried about this at all. And that's showing right now.
Short kickoff was fielded by Colton Hassenjaeger. He had some open field but stepped on the sideline. Ball be marked at the 33. So now with 5:18 on the clock, I mean, points can come in bunches for sure in six-man football, so I wouldn't necessarily say that the game is over per se, but for Weatherford Christian's sake, they need to be in a hurry.
Yeah, we say sometimes the teams need a spark, and they need a big one. It would have to be a complete momentum switch here. Let's see if they can put something together on offense.
Jackson Floyd looking on the far side. Paul is dropped right at midfield. He had a man open, hobbling back to his feet. Is Jackson Foland. It'll be second down and 15. 5 minutes and 12 seconds to play here in the TAP six-man Division III state championship. Weatherford Christian was all over Heritage in the early going, scored 26 straight points spanning halftime. A Jackson Floyd touchdown run midway through the first quarter to make it 8-6. Floyd had back-to-back touchdown passes from Devin Hartage and Jarrett Foland in the second quarter to make it 19-8. Now here trying to find his center, Chandler Stultz, and he couldn't quite hang on to it. We haven't seen the ball thrown to Stultz much today.
It was a convincing fake initially. Wyatt Berry made like he was going to the right side, and then they looked over to the center, but just can't bring it in.
And now third down and 15. Wyatt Berry ran for a touchdown just a minute into the third quarter for Weatherford to take a 26-8 lead and open the second half very strongly for the Lions. But then since that point, they have not been able to find the end zone. Back-to-back fourth down stops by the Heritage School defense when Weatherford was on their own side of the field to set up short fields for Heritage, where they went in and scored and eventually went on this run. 38 straight points now for Heritage to take this 46-26 lead. And Weatherford just trying to find some semblance of momentum here with 5:06 on the clock in the fourth. Third down and 15 from their own 33-yard line, and they need to get something rolling, and they need it to happen real quick.
And the way the last two plays have gone, you've got to think right now you're just taking 2 downs to move the sticks. Let's just get that first down and see what we can do from there. But it's been a hard go against this Eagles defense ever since the second half started.
Which just it flipped like a switch, because it was nothing for Weatherford to go down the field on each of their first 4 drives. And then out of nowhere, Heritage's defense turned it on, and they have not allowed a thing ever since. Low snap, Floyd pressured, firing on the near side, incomplete, some contact and a flag.
He got tripped up. It looked like their feet got tangled.
Knocked down on the play was Preston Forrest, who's in the football game because of Bryson Smith's injury. He was a little slow to get up, but eventually back on his feet, and he drew the flag, and that's going to be a big penalty here against this Heritage defense.
Looks like he's favoring his right hand there.
It is indeed pass interference against the Heritage defense. A free first down for Weatherford, and they need more than that, but that's at least a start.
Heritage fans not happy about it. They think it was incidental contact.
I don't know if they can queue up another replay for us here and maybe get another peek at it, but they do mark the ball down to the 32-yard line. Here we go.
Had it for a second. There it is.
He left the frame. Here we go on first down and 15. They fire deep toward the end zone.
Oh.
Leaping for the catch, but he couldn't haul it in. Jeremy Gaither had an opportunity at it. Great ball from Floyd.
He had his man just off the fingertips there. Great effort. That was the right play. Just couldn't convert.
So now 2nd and 15 again. Ball at the 32, 4:53 on the clock, fourth quarter. Points can come quick in 6-man football, but Weatherford needs them to come real fast. Maybe a gain of 2 as Hassenjager took the pitch.
John Fritsch doing a little defensive work there, knocking him out of bounds.
Fritsch came into the game with 51 tackles on the year. Second on the team to Josh Herman, who had 74 to start the day and has had quite a few more over the course of this afternoon. 4:22 and moving fourth quarter. Weatherford down to 1 timeout remaining, trailing by 20. In a game they led by 18 early on in the third quarter. Hybrid formation here. Floyd looking deep once again up the right side for Jeremy Gaither, and incomplete.
Caden Bray able to break it up for the Heritage defense.
Bray seems to me to kind of be the unsung hero of this Heritage football team. He does a lot of different things for them. He's not necessarily their star player, but he pops up in a lot of different pockets for this football team and makes some really good plays for them.
Absolutely. It was a great replay there that showed him just watching that ball and closing on it almost as if he was a receiver, but still conscientious of where the wide receiver was so as not to draw a penalty. Excellent play there by Bray. Here's another replay.
So Weatherford calls their final timeout here before 4th down and 14. Stephen Cox's team played for a state title a year ago. Lost to Baytown Christian 49-34. fought all year long to get right back to where they are today. 12-1 on the year. Only loss all season came to a good Groom team back in September. Haven't lost a game since. A 9-game win streak to get to this point, trying to win that state championship that they let go through their grasp a year ago. This year came out like gangbusters against Heritage. 26-8 the score early on in the third quarter, but they've now given up 38 straight points to Heritage, and they're trying to find an answer to that here in the final 4:02. 4th down and 14, staring them in the face right here, and if they're not able to convert here without any timeouts left, that'll pretty much be the football game. Floyd with pressure in his face, looking on the far side, complete. Can he get to the sticks? It's going to depend on the spot. He found Colton Hassenjaeger. The stick got knocked down. I can't tell whether or not he's got the first down or not. Yeah. It is very close.
Looks like they're going to give it to him. No, maybe they're stopping for a measurement.
By that spot, it looks like he's got it by just a little bit.
Yeah, we're way up here, and it did strike me that spot might have been a hair short.
First down. Carlton Cole came in and signaled first down for Weatherford Christian. A great play by Jackson Floyd to find Colton Hassenjaeger, dove for the sticks, and that keeps Weatherford Christian alive at least for another couple moments. 3:53 on the clock now in the fourth quarter. Floyd dancing in the backfield, trying to get loose. Can't run it. I beg your pardon. Yes, he can. He took the pitch, so he can run if he wants to. Finally throws it downfield, and a flag comes in after the play. Are they going to say that he crossed the line of scrimmage? Colton Hassenjaeger made the grab on the near sideline. 3:36, clock stops. The line judge on the near side, Joe Ramirez, came in and dropped the flag. Still quite a discussion here between Carlton Cole and his crew.
Flag came out right by the catch. I wonder if they're trying to sort out if there's any sort of interference.
Oh, wow. It's a personal foul against the Heritage defense on Jack Henderson. I didn't see what he did to earn that foul. See if we can catch the replay and see what happened here. As Floyd danced around, did a nice job to get himself free to finally be able to throw the football downfield. I don't know if this is going to be an angle where we can see. You can see 30 kind of behind the play, push a player down. I don't know if that was what drew the flag or not, but either way, it sets up first down and goal from the 4. Handoff up the middle, plunging forward goes Wyatt Berry, gains about half of it. It'll be second and goal from the 2. 3:14 and moving, fourth quarter. Weatherford down 20. In order for any of this to matter, they're going to need 2 onside kick recoveries. But they need to get in the end zone first. Second down and goal. Floyd going to throw for it. And it's intercepted. Picked off in the end zone. Diving across to make the play is Sam Richburg. And that will put this one in the books. 2:53 on the clock, fourth quarter. And what a play by Richburg. Diving in the end zone to make the interception to seal it.
Richburg has also had a great game, maybe not so much on the stat sheets, but we've seen him throw a number of blocks. And what an exclamation point here with just under 3 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter.
Sam Richburg, also the quarterback for this Heritage offense, making a big play on the defensive side of the football. And that one will salt this one away. No timeouts left for Weatherford. 2:53 on the clock in the fourth quarter. And a 20-point Heritage lead. I mean, realistically, Weatherford needed a miracle as it was. Their chance at that miracle just went by the boards with that interception by Sam Richburg.
Yeah, for the Lions, unfortunately, they'll be looking at their second straight state championship loss. But that program is seeing a lot of growth, as evidenced by the fact that their numbers continue to increase, and they will be moving up to 11-man football next year. Anytime you make it to the state championship, of course, it's hard to lose a game, but you've got to take solace in the fact that you got there. You were better than every other team except one.
Certainly some juniors and sophomores on this football team, so you expect they could maybe make some noise as they do make that move to 11-man football. There's still talented kids on this football team. Called Colton Hassenjager's name quite a bit today, just a junior. So we'll see what Weatherford Christian can do as they make the move to 11-man football. 2:04 on the clock as we get whistles here before second down and 15. I'm not sure what necessitated the reset of the play clock, but that gives Heritage an opportunity to run another 25 seconds off. Down to 10 on the ticker now, and again, whistles. Now they're saying to put 2:04 back on the clock. That makes an awful lot more sense. If they're going to reset the play clock the way that they did after it had run all the way down, it's only fair to have stopped it where it was when they reset the play clock. So they do set the game clock back to 2:04 here before second down and 15. Clock will start on the snap here for Heritage. Richburg back to Herman. And he'll fight his way forward for 4, but just trying to run the clock out now are the Heritage Eagles on their way to a 7th state championship under Tim Shipman. 18 years at the helm, the entirety of the Heritage program history. Tim Shipman has been the head man. 1-5 in 2002. Then in 2003, they started a 36-game win streak, which at that point when the win streak ended, it was the longest win streak anywhere in the country at any level of football.
Incredible.
6 state championships over the course of that span, 04, 05, 07, 08, 11, and 14. And now here in 2019, trying to salt away a 46-26 win to give Shipman his 7th state championship in his first in 5 years. Last year was a little bit of a struggle, comparatively speaking. They still went 7-3, went 2-1 in district, and lost in the first round of the playoffs to the eventual state champ, Baytown Christian. This year, though, certainly they have put things together, and they seem to be pretty well set up for the future. With John Fritsch only a sophomore, he is no doubt the focal point and the central piece of this offense, and frankly, to a certain extent, the defense as well. I think Josh Herman might want that title on the defensive side of the ball. He's only a junior, so they've got a lot of talent coming back for next year. Sam Richburg, who made the interception just moments ago, a junior as well. So maybe a little bit of a restart on the dynasty perhaps here for Tim Shipman and Heritage as they call timeout with 27 seconds left and an opportunity to soak this in a little bit for the Eagles on their way to state championship number 7 in 18 years.
And all the fans on their feet at this point. They know it's coming. It's going to be a long 27 seconds for them.
And again, just to say it one more time, credit to Weatherford Christian for the way that they started this football game. I mean, they came out and played fantastic football offensively and defensively. Made some big stops at Heritage to be able to turn the football back over to their offense. 26 consecutive points. Led this game 26-8. They were playing outstanding football. But eventually, Heritage turned into a buzzsaw there in the third quarter. 38 straight points to get us to where we are right now. 27 seconds on the clock and a 46-26 advantage for Heritage. And one snap away.
And as you mentioned, it's been 5 years since the last time for Heritage. None of these kids are obviously here.
4th down and 11. If they can convert, they can kneel. They don't even have to kneel on it, and they will do exactly that. fittingly in the hands of John Fritch. A 4th and 11 conversion on what will be the final play of the football game. We do have a player down behind the play. 19 seconds on the clock here in the fourth quarter. And a player down for Weatherford Christian, and we'll step aside for an injury timeout.
Aiden loves playing baseball. He's in his element when he picks up a baseball bat.
When Aiden tore his ACL last year, we were all devastated. We didn't think that a 13-year-old could have a problem such as that.
Children's Health Andrews Institute for Orthopedic and Sports Medicine not only repaired Aiden's ACL, but they gave him the knowledge and skills to prevent any future injuries.
Now, less than a year later, he's back to hitting homers and doing phenomenal.
Jackson Folan back up on his feet and being helped off by the training staff here from Weatherford Christian. 19 seconds on the clock, and the 4th and 11 conversion by John Fritch got the football out to midfield. 19 seconds left. No timeouts for Weatherford. You can hear the chant from the near side Heritage fans. State champs. One kneel down away.
Coach Shipman finally took the headset off. He was shouting instructions all the way to the end here.
They did wind the clock. I thought they were going to, but it looks like Heritage will come out just to ceremonially and kneel the football down one last time. Sam Richburg with the kneel down, and that'll do it. Heritage, for the 7th time in 18 years, state champions. They take 6-man Division III, 46-26 over Weatherford. What a performance by Heritage. 3 touchdown runs by John Fritch in the early going. He also had a touchdown reception. John Fritch or Josh Herman, at least, were involved in every touchdown today for Heritage. Fritch with a touchdown run early on to make it 8-0. He had 2 touchdown runs in the third quarter to help carve into Weatherford's 26-8 lead and make it 26-24. Then Herman with a touchdown pass to Given, Herman with a touchdown pass to Fritch, and Herman with a touchdown run to put the bookend on the scoring. 46-26 the final score, and all of those points impacted in some way by the 2 best players on this Eagles team, John Fritch and Josh Herman. Both of them just fantastic today, Gabe.
And Heritage put it on a master class in keeping your composure. I mean, it was ugly there for a while, and you wondered what happened to Heritage, and then they answered that quite emphatically. And now you can see a very classy move here. All the Heritage players going over to address the injured player, Jackson Folan, for Weatherford Christian, unable to come out and shake hands. It's another wonderful reminder of the camaraderie that goes on between these fantastic athletes. Trophy presentation will be coming up very shortly.
The trophy presentation coming up in just a moment. We'll step aside for just a brief second here on TAPS TV and come back with the trophy presentation. Back at Panther Stadium, your state champions in six-man Division III, the Heritage School Eagles, ready to receive their trophy. The other member of our broadcast team, Matt Tarbutton, down on the field to help present the state championship trophy and the state runner-up trophy to Heritage and Weatherford Christian.
This time, proud to present to them 2019 Champs Division III six-man football runner-up plaque to the Weatherford Christian Lions. Congratulations once again on an outstanding season. Coach Constant and staff will also be placing medals on the necks of the Lions players. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to recognize at this time the Fredericksburg Heritage Eagles. The state of Weatherford is currently known as the Division II six-man state football champions. The Eagles are led by their 18-year head coach, Tim Shipman. This time, we are proud to present Coach Shipman state championship trophy and banner for the TAPS Division III state champions in six-man football, the Fredericksburg Heritage Eagles. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Quite a moment for Tim Shipman and company. The 7th time he's hosted that trophy. The first time, though, in 5 years, and certainly the first time with this group. State champions after a 46-26 win over Weatherford Christian. Gabe, your thoughts on just what we saw transpire over the course of the last 2.5 hours?
You know, it was two very competitive teams, as we mentioned, basically a tale of two halves, which spoke to the level of talent and just a great game to open this fantastic weekend of football with.
John Fritsch with 4 total touchdowns. Josh Herman with 3 of his own. And with that, this one is in the books. Our final score, 46-26, as the Heritage Eagles claim the TAPS six-man Division III state championship. Our thanks to the entire TAPS TV team. Our producer here in the booth with us, Will Dixon. The director of media for TAPS TV, John Skees. The associate director of TAPS, Steve Pradam. And the executive director of TAPS, Brian Bunselmeyer. For Matt Tarbutton and Gabe Duarte here with me in the booth, I'm Mike Leslie. We hope you'll join us this afternoon at 3 o'clock for the six-man Division II championship between Harvest Christian and New Braunfels Christian Academy. Thanks so much for watching today. Your final score one last time, 46-26, as Heritage tops Weatherford Christian for the TAPS six-man Division I title, Division III championship. So long from Panther Stadium, everybody. We'll see you in hopefully an hour and a half.